Hey, what's up, stock compounders? Brad here. So today I want to talk about how to invest in Japan from the US, or specifically buying Shinoken stock on Interactive Brokers. Okay, this is something I actually did 5 days ago on March 1st, 2021. So I want to walk you guys through, what it's like to buy a Japanese stock on Interactive Brokers. First thing I want to do is look at ticker terminal to see, all right, why might we be interested in buying stock in Japan? There's some great investors that are based in the US who have done some buying recently in Japan. I just wanted to walk you through how to find that really quick here. So first one, Mohnish Pabrai. Okay, so this is ticker terminal. It's in the beta. It's free, so let me know if you want to sign up. I'm just going to blow this out a little bit so it's easier. Now, here's Mohnish Pabrai's portfolio, his international portfolio. All right, so you can see the first two. Those can both be found on the 13F filings. Most of you guys are probably familiar with that. But it's only US-based companies that are required to be disclosed via 13F filings. So if you look down here, you see trade report, shareholder report, Japan 5% filing. Nice holdings here. That is a South Korean company. You've got a couple, well, this is an Indian company, a Turkish company, and then two more Indian companies. And then the last one, Shinoken, is from Japan, okay? So, that's Mohnish Pabrai buying in Japan. I just want to point out two more. Berkshire Hathaway. We all know and love Berkshire Hathaway. If we scroll down, kind of the quick, easy way to find it is to just look in this last column, filing type. And you see this Japan 5% filing. Itochu Corp is owned by Berkshire Hathaway. So, Berkshire has been active in Japan. And just one more, Michael Burry. Okay, we're all familiar with Michael Burry with his recent GameStop activity, The Big Short back in 2008. He runs Scion Asset Management. And you can see here's a Japanese position, Yotai Refractories and Tasmo Company Limited. So a couple Japanese holdings for Michael Burry. So, why are these investors interested in Japan? Well, it's fairly obvious. You can get a lot more bang for your buck in Japan than you can in the U.S. right now. In terms of earnings going forward, it can be a much more compelling picture in Japan. It's just kind of where the markets are relative to each other. So let's get into how to actually buy a Japanese stock from the U.S. as a U.S. citizen. So the first thing you need to do, and this is actually an account I set up for my 4-month-old daughter, okay? So I recently bought $1,000 worth of Shinoken for her, So, you think about being 4 months old with, already $1,000 in an investment in Japan. She's kind of a lucky duck. I mean, that hopefully is a very long runway. So it'll be exciting to see how this portfolio unfolds over the years. But anyway, step one, okay, you need to sign up for an Interactive Brokers account. Now, I'm not going to walk you guys exactly through that. I think it's fairly straightforward. Go to Interactive Brokers, create a new account. Why Interactive Brokers? So it's the only brokerage I've found that I can buy Shinoken through, a Japanese company like Shinoken that doesn't have an ADR, right? Which would allow us to buy it through a U.S. exchange. So simple enough. First step, sign up for an Interactive Brokers account. Now, as you're signing up, you can also apply for different trading permissions for different markets, all right? There's European markets, there's Japan, there's a bunch of options. And I signed up for all of those trading permissions. And, there's really nothing extra you need to do. I think you just need to click some boxes. And and you become eligible to trade in those markets. So that's step one. Step two, fund your account. All right. So you need to link a bank, in the US. And you guys, it takes a little time. So I also have an account on Robinhood. I am totally spoiled with Robinhood because right when I make a transfer to my Robinhood account, to fund it, I can immediately access that capital. With Interactive Brokers, I don't know if this is just for people who are new to the platform or if this is, throughout the duration. But it takes 4 business days for money to clear from a U.S. bank account to the Interactive Brokers portfolio. So that's kind of a drag. 4 business days can feel like a long time. But that's the second step, fund the account. Now, step 3, I actually kind of missed. I went right to step 4, which was actually buy the stock. And I couldn't do that because I missed step 3. And what step 3 is you have to convert currency, okay? So, I put a little more than $1,000 in here because, I wasn't sure exactly where it was going to be trading by the time I wanted to buy it. So you can see, click currency I have. Currency I want, you're going to click JPY, which is Japanese yen. And then, you kind of put in the amount of US dollars that you want to convert, somewhere around 1,000 if you're looking to buy Shinoken would be the minimum because you need to buy at least 100 shares when it comes to buying stock in Japan on Interactive Brokers. And I think it's in 100 share increments, okay? So 100, 200, 300. That's a current limitation. But, that's the rules that we've got to play by. So convert the US dollars into Japanese yen. Now, after you do that, I'm going to blow this out again here. You're going to go to trade, enter a symbol. So you can just type Shinoken. It knows, that it's 8909, which is how stocks in Japan are denominated. There's a 4-digit number for each stock. We're going to click on this, and I can see kind of the current, market price for Shinoken, 1051. That's per share in Japanese yen. And you can see here, if you're wanting to buy just 100, it's suggesting 1152 is a share price. Versus if you buy 200 shares, 1051. Now, I kind of ignored this. I essentially submitted an order for 100 shares, kind of at this lowest price. In fact, a little bit under this lowest price. So, I did a limit order, and then my limit price was 1105, okay? At the time, I think it said, 1106 for an order of 400. So I went a little bit below this kind of larger order size, and it filled the next day. So, and I'll show you part of why it filled the next day in a moment. But that's how you do it. You enter the limit price. Time and force day is fine. Submit buy order, and that's effectively how you put your limit order in on Interactive Brokers for a Japanese stock. Now, I'm in California, so I put the order in the morning at like 10 o'clock. It didn't, the Japanese market doesn't open until 4 p.m. my time in California. So, keep that in mind. If you submit an order during business hours in the U.S., it's not going to trade until after hours here because the Japanese market obviously has different hours because it's in a different time zone. So that's that piece of it. I wanted to show you guys Shinoken. So let's open this up. And you can see what's been happening since, what is this, middle of February. since, it kind of hit a peak somewhere around 1260. Shinoken has been on a downward tear here, right? From 1260 basically to 1052. So it's, down pretty significantly. I mean, what is that? 2/12 to 6, that's like 17% drop in 3 weeks or so. So that's why my order filled. I could have even set a lower limit order and it would have filled, but hindsight is 2020. So you can see some details about the company here. Market cap 38.7 billion. Important to note that is in Japanese yen. Okay, so this company is really like a 400 million market cap company in US dollars. We can actually look this up just to get a more accurate figure here. So if we go into ticker terminal and we click USD, so 970 a share, scroll down to market cap, $334 million is the market cap. So that's great. Price to earnings, 6.2. Okay, very compelling. You're not going to find a solid business in the U.S. trading at a price to earnings of 6.2 right now. It's probably just not going to happen. Price to book, 0.9. Price to tangible book, 1. What else do we want to see? Dividend yield, nearly 4%. Okay, so that's compelling. There's a little description about what the company does. So there's some pretty good information in Interactive Brokers, kind of high-level information about the company. Another thing I wanted to point out real quick about Shinoken before we get into the trading fees at Interactive Brokers. So one of the numbers I really pay attention to is last 12-month total enterprise value over EBIT, okay? For those of you who follow Tobias Carlyle, that is the acquirer's multiple, all right? It's basically what it would cost to buy the whole business over, what the business earns each year before taxes. So 3.7, I mean, that is a phenomenal acquirer's multiple. That basically means in less than 4 years, if I were to buy the whole business, I get my money back from earnings. All right, that's kind of roughly how to look at that, which is quite compelling. It's pretty unusual to find companies with that low of an acquirer's multiple, much less companies, that have a fantastic return on equity over the last, decade. Company was just recently bought, still being bought by Mohnish Pabrai, which is one of the top super investors, guru investors in the U.S. So take a look at this one, guys. It's not a stock tip, but I bought it last week, and I'm finding it quite compelling. So the last thing I want to talk about here is the fees. So there's basically 2 fees when it comes to buying a Japanese stock. The first one is the currency conversion fee, all right? So in my situation with $1,000, it was $2 to convert those 1,000 US dollars into Japanese yen, okay? $2. The other fee was the commission of buying the Japanese stock. And that worked out to 83 cents for those $1,000. So what that works out to, $2.83 out of $1,000, which is, where did I write this down? I mean, you should be able to do it in your head. 0.28% are the fees for this transaction. 28 basis points, which, I was pretty pleased with. I definitely will not complain about that level of fee for buying a company outside of the U.S. So, that's kind of an overview of my experience on Interactive Brokers buying Shinoken. There is what is there? Let's look up Shinoken real quick, because supposedly this isn't the only way to buy Shinoken. So you see Shio.f, okay? Over-the-counter pink sheets stock. So theoretically, we should be able to buy this stock in the U.S., okay, through the over-the-counter markets. When I tried to do that through TD Ameritrade, there was no liquidity. There were no shares available through that ticker. So buying directly through Japan is the only way that I've found to buy Shinoken. And I'm pleased with the kind of low fees that I experienced. One thing I will note about Interactive Brokers, it is not, clearly customer service is not their priority. It's really a platform that's designed for kind of high-level professionals, okay? There's a lot of features. So it's a very powerful platform. But, you know, if you're trying to get help with something, I mean, I tried, let's try it right now, support, okay? Let's see if we can get support right now. Let's see what happens. So, you know, if you go in here, you know, of course, they're going to try to direct you to the, you know, to just the FAQs and kind of solving it through their automated bot system. But if we scroll down, you know, chat room, okay, this is really what I want. I want to chat with a live representative. That's kind of the easiest thing for me to do. So what happens when I click that? Granted, it's Saturday, right? And I know phone support, they don't have phone support on Saturday. It's just Monday through Friday, and then they have kind of limited hours on Sunday. But I'm not, let's expand this. I wonder if I'm missing something because it's not expanded. Chat room. And yeah, I don't even think that feature can be clicked on. So it does leave something to be desired in terms of customer service, but, you know, where they lack in customer service, you know, it seems that they make up for with really low fees and accessibility to a lot of different markets that can be much tougher or impossible to access through other brokerages. So anyway, guys, just wanted to share my experience. I hope this is helpful to you. Curious if you guys are buying anything in Japan, if you're looking to buy, let me know in the comments. I'm always looking, you know, for other great investment opportunities outside of the US right now. So let me know what you guys are finding. If you have any specific questions about Interactive Brokers, hit me up. I've had a little bit of experience. I'm still wetting my beak, obviously. But with that, I will leave you all till the next video. Take care.